Hi friends, I hope that everybody's doing well. My name is Gabriella. For anybody new tuning in, I channel as well as interpret the tarot cards. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. It looks to me like you are starting down a road, you are starting down a path. This can be something that you've had a prior interest in doing, or someone you've had a prior interest in kind of like moving along a path together with. I'm seeing you have this feeling that this is going to pay off for you, that this is going to be worth it to you. Like, this will be worth my time, it'll be worth my energy. I feel like I'm going to get what I need from within this, or like if I work this job, I'm going to be compensated in a way that like would make this feel like a right fit for me. Or if I get into a relationship with this person, or if I at least try things out with them, it's going to be worth it to me to at least see where things go with them. So this is where I'm seeing us start. You may even feel like it's about time that this happened. Something falling into place in a way where it may even feel like a bit of a relief, like something's finally kind of breaking open and becoming available for you. I'm seeing you get more savvy too when it comes to, I'm hearing reading the rhythm of the cycles. An opportunity. I'm hearing fighting to win. I'm also looking at the Chariot here. You could have fought for this opportunity, or to at least allow this to be available. I am seeing a plan that you're making. Somebody that you know is a part of this. Somebody you're familiar with at least. The Chariot represents Cancer. Remember, we all have Cancer somewhere in our charts. We all have a 4th house. We all have a moon. This opportunity feels like a win for you. For some of you, you're having an opportunity to travel or to go somewhere. It might be somewhere that you're visiting. The 2 of Cups. I'm hearing joint filing. There is somebody that you're connecting with. This is definitely somebody that you care about deeply. So to have the 2 of Cups pop out, and also the 3 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, this is somebody that you really feel like understands you. This is like having the opportunity to connect with somebody that, like, you see this person as being one of your soulmates. This is somebody that feels very important to you. There's a sense of mutual support here of you guys having things in common. Like, you can just talk to this person and sit with them, and they're seeing you and they're hearing you, and vice versa, and it feels very mutual between the 2 of you. It feels even like a homecoming energy when you connect with this person. It's a very lovely feeling to be within. I'm hearing the word glamorous. Maybe something glamorous about this. You may be making a decision with this person. This is somebody that you would care very much about what their opinion is. You would care about their thoughts on the subject. But it may be maybe a serious matter. But I am seeing it be related to the 2 of you. So it can be a decision that's connected with like your relationship, or it can just be a decision where both of you guys are going to have some part or some say in this choice that's being made. And I'm seeing something that's being looked into in a very serious and even methodical manner. There may have been some sort of disruption or surprise that this is connected with. Like something happened unexpectedly between the two of you is what I'm hearing. You could have, for some of you too, you could have gotten some sort of news that affects or impacts both of you. This is a situation that, like, it may have felt difficult to move through this, or it may be feeling difficult to move through this, but I'm seeing, like, your relationship with this person be very important. Like, you would still feel supported by them, by one another through this experience, even though it's something that may be more difficult. I'm seeing something happening where it could be a situation where somebody got hurt, or it could be like even a heartbreaking moment, something like that. The Three of Swords doesn't have to be super severe. It just depends on what the situation is for you. It can be like a stubbed toe. It can be, metaphorically speaking, I mean, also literally too. Or it can be something that is a bit heavier. What I'm seeing though is that whatever like pain this is that you're going through, and remember, this can be stuff from the past. Like, you can be doing shadow work, you can be doing stuff that's connected with like trauma and whatnot, or something that felt very disastrous within your life that now you feel like you're in a place where you're connecting with someone where it's allowing you to do this or to face something that may have been quite difficult to face. I am seeing though that whatever this Three of Swords was, because the Tower is before it, it would have felt, at least at the time of it happening, like it was a pretty major thing that you went through. For some of you, this was something that got tucked away that you may be revisiting now. Because I'm seeing the moon here, and this means that this could be an event that kind of got pushed into your subconscious, or it may be something where you were like, I want to put a lid on this, I don't really want to come back and open that back up, but now there's an opportunity for you to be opening these things back up. And for some of you, this is something that I'm hearing midday. For some of you, this is something that you may be going through right now. But again, I'm seeing the Two of Cups feel important to you because it's giving you an opportunity that you didn't have before. So it feels like, and like this can be, it doesn't have to be a person. This can be like an animal that you feel like is supporting your like emotional and mental well-being. Whatever this Two of Cups is like you are connecting with something or someone that is animated, that you feel a sense of love for, that has become a vehicle for you to be in a space of feeling seen and understood and heard, feeling like that is a mutual thing. There is a bond here. And that's giving you the opportunity to explore some painful stuff for you. That is going to be, you're now giving it the opportunity to be seen and to be validated and to be transmuted. So essentially, this is shadow work that you're doing. Whether this be something that you repressed that you're now digging back up again, or this is something that's happening in real time that you're working through, that you feel like now you have the support that you needed to be able to handle this. This is what I'm seeing here. Or just something that you've been struggling with, too. This is leading you out into a very big personal transformation. It may also be inspiring you to begin something. But maybe something that didn't feel like an option before. Yeah, it didn't feel like an option before for some reason. If you had been in a space where you weren't addressing this opportunity would not have become available for you. Whatever this Tower and Three of Swords is, it needed to be addressed. Because there was change that needed to happen, like on your end. There was an evolution, a development needed on your end in order to allow other pieces to fall into place and for a certain opportunity to become available to you. So you kind of had to surrender to the experience and be like, I'm going to let go of my ego in this situation. This may feel very uncomfortable to go through this change or to face this thing head on. However, like in retrospect, you would see that this has like led you to a better life. So the Death card isn't to be taken lightly, because these can be the things that really change our lives in such big ways, and sometimes it can feel very devastating. But I'm seeing you be in a space where you've kind of embraced this this channel of the Scorpio energy, and I'm seeing you learning a lot. I'm seeing you learning a lot about yourself. It kind of feels like a dark night of the soul that you're moving through, that you've been moving through. I do keep seeing the moon on the bottom of the deck. Maybe something going on with a Pisces in your chart around you in your 12th house. It looks too like there's more of a sense of you developing even an aspect of a social and also moral code. That's how I'm reading the Justice card here. So we're looking at the Death card, the Page of Swords, and Justice. There are changes that you're going through. There's a lot that you're learning, and I'm seeing there also may be some sort of system that you're developing that you are going to be applying. But this is something that it's kind of paralleling the evolution that you're going through personally. And I'm hearing all of these things related to like system and regulation and regulating and all of that. There's some sort of system personally for you that you are developing, that you are going to be applying to a situation, that applying to your relationships. For some of you too, this was kicked off because you had an opportunity with somebody that you may have really like fought to get to the point of. Meaning there could have been something that you really wanted and you were like, this is worth fighting for. I really am hoping to go in this direction. I hope that things fall into place and I finally get the opportunity with this thing or with this person. And then unexpectedly things end up going in a way where like somebody ends up getting hurt. This is how I'm seeing things play out. And as much as this felt painful as you were moving through it, when you surrender to this situation, because it seems like something couldn't stand up on its own because of the way that somebody chose to participate in the relationship, it allowed you to dissipate the clouds in your judgment. What I'm seeing is an energy that is being characterized as the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles reversed, what this looks like is somebody being like hot and cold, somebody being in and out, somebody saying that they're going to show up and then they're failing to show up, somebody being irresponsible. So you take like all of the desirable qualities of the Knight of Pentacles and kind of invert them, and that's what you're going to see. So it's somebody that's not reliable, somebody you can't depend on, somebody that is like telling you that you can trust them, but then they're like failing to show up in that way. A big failing to show up. The only thing that you have to go off of that would be in alignment with what you hope is based off of what this person is saying. Meaning, like, their actions are not lining up with their words. Their words may be very promising, but when it comes to, like, showing up again, this person is very much failing to do so. They're telling you that they're going to, which can make it hard with this energy, because it's like, well, which one is it? You're telling me one thing, you're doing another. Like, which one do you actually feel? Which can be very confusing for us, especially when this is a repetitive thing that happens. And I'm seeing that, like, for some of you, this may just be like a one and done thing. This may be like it keeps happening over and over again, and now I feel like I need to do something about it. I'm seeing a sense of like you not expecting there to be pain within the cycle, within the relationship with this person, and then it's like they do it again. However, there is this like code, there's this system that you have been developing. And now I'm seeing, because of the personal evolution that you've gone through, based off of the more difficult experiences that you've had, you're in a place where you're like, I actually know what to do now. So I'm not saying you feel lost. When this first happened, when this initially happened, you could have been very, very surprised. This could have really caught you off guard, and that's also a big reason why it hurt. Because if you had seen this coming, I don't think that it would have left as much of a mark on you, but because you really had the rug pulled out from underneath you, it seems like that's what really made this stick for you. I will say this too, for some of us, we need an experience that is so jolting that it really opens us up spiritually, because we feel like we hit rock bottom in that moment. And so because we can be, for some of us, at our core, our seed can be very, like difficult to crack and kind of like open up to the world, and so we need something that is going to feel very severe. And it looks like this is what that situation was for you, a very severe situation that really allowed you to crack open fully and surrender to it. And I'm seeing a willingness, you being in a space where you may have even felt like I have no other choice than to just move along with this. I have to embrace this aspect of myself because I don't want to keep living like this. And so it led to a very huge transformation for you, and one that you're still learning through. And I'm seeing you get to a point where you've learned enough that now you know what to do with this character when this frequency is showing up. And I'm seeing it feel like a challenge for you, but you look very, very prepared for the test is what I'm seeing. So even though you know something's going to be difficult, you look very prepared to be able to do this. I do want to say this too, because I'm getting glimpses of a couple different energies. When you first connected with this person, and I mean, that doesn't mean that you don't still feel like this. When you first initially connected with this person, you would have felt like this was a dream opportunity, and you would have been like, where did this person come from? Like, they're perfect. This relationship is perfect. I feel immediately like I have this really deep connection with this person. It is giving Neptune contact and your synastry vibes. This is what it's feeling like. And Neptune contact, when you have a Neptune contact with someone within your synastry, you meet them and immediately you're like, you just stepped out of my dreams. Where did you come from? How did you get here? I want to connect with you. I feel so connected with you. feeling even like a telepathic thing going on between the two of you. So there's a really deep connection here that I'm seeing. Definitely a big focus on the Cancer energy. You guys may have like moon contacts and stuff within your synastry, or stuff going on within the 4th house anyway. You would have felt a sense of like safety with this person and felt at home with them. So to have this thing happen that was like so unexpected, and for there to be pain that came out of this, it would have been very different than initially how you thought things would go. And I'm seeing this like really came out of nowhere. Like this was a total surprise. As I said before, if the Tower hadn't been here, I don't think that this would have affected you as deeply as it did, but because it happened unexpectedly, it somehow made this a lot more severe for you, is what I'm seeing. Because you were not, it's like everything is dreamy and everything is perfect, and then all of a sudden, like, everything falls apart. It feels like you have the world and then drop it, or that it gets smacked out of your hands. Because this doesn't even look like something that was necessarily, it doesn't look like something necessarily that like you had a part of. This may have been like outside circumstances that kind of happened here. Because if you had had a part like directly within this thing that had happened, you would kind of know like, hey, I think that it's going to go in this direction. But yeah, I'm seeing just something where consciously this really caught you off guard. Even though in retrospect, and I will point this out, in retrospect, you can look back and be like, okay, it makes sense why it could have gone like that, and I can kind of see it now. But while you're in this moment, you would have not expected this at all. And that's part of what made this so much worse when you experienced it. But it allowed you to fully crack open and to learn from that willingness of cracking open. And so I'm seeing it be very important for that reason. And now I'm seeing you be in a space where I'm hearing something about having the big guns out, but I'm seeing this be like you're ready to lay down the law is how I'm seeing this be characterized. Because it's really come to play. For some of you, like, this person was not committed to the relationship, or like you just really saw a different side of this person, very, very differently than you had like initially understood them to be or saw them to be. Especially too because sometimes when we connect with people, we can really see inside and deeply to their core, and so you're not paying as much attention to things like their personality and whatnot, or their behavior, or their history, and what may commonly appear or show up, because you don't like know that much about them yet. It's like on a soul to soul level you see them and you're connecting with them, but behaviorally you may not know like how their human acts. And so something definitely popped up that you weren't expecting. And for some of you, it has to do with this person's, I don't know if you just want to chalk it down to a lack of maturity when it comes to interpersonal relationships, but something's going on where you may have thought that this person was kind of like on a different level than how they showed up. Which, again, like, it's not like you were reading into things in an inaccurate way. This person was presenting like, hey, you can trust me, and hey, I'm responsible, and hey, like all of the things of the Knight of Pentacles. However, when push came to shove, this person was really doing the opposite, behaving in a way that was very opposite from what they were telling you. So you were just believing them. But yeah, but now I'm seeing like something isn't going to fly anymore. As I said before, you've become savvy of whatever this is that's been happening. And you kind of have this person pinned down where maybe you didn't want to see something before. I'm looking at Pluto, Mars, Gemini, Leo. They may be a Leo, they may be a Gemini, maybe a Cancer, a Libra. Could have a Leo Mars, a Gemini Mars, Cancer Mars, Scorpio Mars. Okay, so Scorpio, Cancer, Pluto, Mars, Gemini, Leo, Libra. So many different placements. But yeah, the energy looks like it's separated. Like somebody may have more so like Cancer and Scorpio within their chart. And the other person I'm seeing there be like Scorpio and then Mars that looks like it's either Gemini or Leo. Or another Gemini or Leo placement. But it looks like the Gemini and Leo are together in the chart. Remember to, like, one can just be embodying those energies. It doesn't necessarily need to be in their chart. For some of you, it definitely is, though. Yeah, this definitely feels very hard because there is absolutely a developed connection that you share. There's definitely a bond that you have with this person. However, I'm seeing you be in a space where you know that this person is unreliable. You can't really depend on what they're telling you. And even though there is a very strong connection here, it reminds me of the notion where like you can have somebody in your life that you feel very connected with, or you can meet somebody within your life that you feel connected with, that you feel like really understands you, and you feel like you see them and they see you, and there's like an unspoken bond between the two of you that runs very, very, very deeply. However, just because you have a connection with somebody, it doesn't mean that you're meant to be overlooking the way that they're choosing to show up. Because at the end of the day, you can have the strongest, most intense connection with somebody, but if they're showing up in a way that is inappropriate or out of alignment, that is going to trump everything else. So yeah, you could have found like a soulmate that is maybe you feel going to be the deepest connection you'll ever have with somebody. But if someone's showing up and they're bringing like mayhem and instability and the opposite of like peace and joy and happiness into your life because of the way that they're behaving, that the choice to break that off is going to feel like one of the most difficult. However, it is going to be one of the most necessary things that you do, because it really, in the grand scheme of things, is such a small matter whether or not somebody's your soulmate or your twin flame if they're not acting right. And it's definitely something that you want to analyze, because once it gets to a point where you're giving more weight to anything else apart from how somebody's showing up and how they're treating you and how they're affecting you, it kind of leans into the territory of codependence or you martyring yourself, and that's shadow work to do. If you're making excuses for people or excuses for why you're not practicing boundaries. So yeah, this feels like a very, very difficult lesson because of the energetic bond that I'm seeing between the two of you. Meaning, like, when you connect with this person, you're like, I know that I knew them in a past lifetime. There's no way that I would have this strong of a bond with this person otherwise. However, this person, like, energetically has not gotten to a place where it looks like if you choose to, you are not going to be connecting, because like vibrationally something is off within the connection with this person. At least in this moment. But that's really all we have to go off of anyway. So yeah, something to look into more deeply. I think that we're gonna leave it here, my friends. I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.